Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Whiteside, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it. And we also appreciate all the people that have boots on the ground. We use that term pretty often for all of law enforcement that are out there working to keep us safe. And we love to come and give you updates on what's happening for the good things, but sometimes we got to bring on some of those professionals to tell us about some of those issues and situations that happen in our community that maybe isn't so good or positive, but we're really glad that they're doing that. Welcome to the program, First Lieutenant Blake Tabor of Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, Public Information Officer. Welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it. And so we had this murder suspect in this shooting that took place. Tell us a little bit about what we do know.
So what we do know at this point is on September 26th of this year, our deputies responded to a disturbance in a 200 block of Willowdale Drive. When they arrived, they discovered the deceased body of a 42-year-old male. Unfortunately, he died as a result of a gunshot wound. They continued to investigate that pretty rapidly, and they were quickly able to determine a suspect by the name of Brant Bennett. He's an 18-year-old male from the area. They discovered a lot of evidence that linked him to that particular crime, and ultimately just continued to try to locate him, which we haven't been successful up to this point.
Yeah, and I know we were working really hard. Again, you can see there at home, it's important for us to be able to share this with you. This is a suspect, and of course, he is innocent until proven guilty. It's important that you know that. But a lot of information through the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office have let us know that Brant Bennett is a suspect in this case. He is wanted. And so if anybody has information about that, they can reach out to you guys, I know.
Absolutely. We ask that they reach out to us, or they can report that anonymously through Bayou Region Crime Stoppers.
Right.
That's correct.
Yeah, and we appreciate that. And so that kind of started over in September. Can you walk us through that process of how things kind of develop? What happens on your end that a lot of us don't know about when we find out about a murder like this?
Sure. And of course, when we get to a scene, of course, the first thing that investigators always do is talk to the people that are present. We'll talk to witnesses and around the surrounding areas. And I think they were able to quickly determine that Mr. Bennett was present at the scene at the time of the shooting. And there was a lot of additional evidence that linked him to that particular crime. So, we've been spending a lot of our time and resources trying to locate him. It's been a little challenging thus far. But we know that a lot of the family members have been assisting him, we believe, in him evading capture. So that ultimately led to the arrest of two individuals on October 28th.
Okay, so just on October 28th, the aiding and abetting, is that?
It would have been accessory after the fact to second-degree murder.
Okay, and so those people, and how does that law itself work? Do people have to know about the murder to be able to harbor him, or just be aware that he's a suspect?
Absolutely. Just the knowledge that he is a wanted person and aiding him in evading capture is enough to constitute that particular crime.
Okay. And so you have two people that have been arrested for that?
Yep. So there was two persons. There was a Nyana Hayes. She's a 20-year-old female of the Gray area.
Okay.
And also a Rasheem Robertson, who's a 22-year-old male of Gibson.
Okay.
Both of them were arrested for the accessory after the fact to second-degree murder. And I think through investigative means, they were able to determine that they had something to do with him evading capture.
Okay. And we have no idea if he's still in the area or not?
We don't know at this point. I know that our detectives are working very diligently to try to locate him. It's been a little challenging, but we will find him, and we're not going to stop until we do.
And this is one of those areas where we're so excited about all of our different law enforcement entities being able to work together.
Absolutely.
And that's one of those things where the reaching out to, to St. Mary, reaching out to Lafourche, and just making sure that all of those people are aware about who we're looking for. And speaking of, Jen, put his picture back up. We want to let people know that this gentleman, his name again is Brant Bennett. He is wanted with regards to this particular case of a murder suspect in a shooting for second-degree murder of a 42-year-old gentleman.
That's correct.
And again, this is through Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. So if people have any information about that, this guy is 18 years of age, 5 foot 10 inches in height, approximately 175 pounds. And again, his picture is there. If in fact you have some information, we always like to have people reach out. Again, you can reach out to Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office at 985-876-2500. Or as mentioned earlier, we appreciate First Lieutenant mentioning that you can call the Crime Stoppers Bayou Region at 1-800-743-7433. If you would like to do that anonymously, you can do that through that number, or you can go through www.crimestoppersbr, which is BayouRegion.org, or you can use the P3 Tips app, which is always so very neat to see that people can kind of use an app to do that, because that's, we're talking about an 18-year-old who's wanted. The people that kind of know about him other than family are probably near that same age. And if they know something, they can kind of do that through the app.
Absolutely. And look, and it's important, this person, we're considering him armed and dangerous.
Right.
Regardless of the circumstances that led to this incident, a person's life was taken. And I think that if we can think about it in that context, it's important to do so, because this is someone that is responsible for taking someone's life.
Yeah, and not only did they do that, they did it in our community. And
Absolutely.
it's a younger gentleman who took a middle-aged person's life. And whatever the circumstances are,
Absolutely.
that person we really need to find and get off the streets and hold them accountable for what's been done.
Absolutely.
First Lieutenant, we appreciate it very, very much for coming on and sharing that with us. Appreciate what you guys do every day for you and for Tim and everybody at the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office. We thank you for keeping our streets safe and finding a way to get these guys off the street.
Thank you very much.
All right. And that will do it for this particular segment of Bayou Time. Don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming here on HTV.